so that works, but me doing it the other way doesn't. Oh, come on. So, hello everyone, I'm Kaneki, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a voiceover. This was streamed live on Twitch. I will say, I didn't really have any plans going into it. I literally named the blank canvas Jenny, because at the time I was listening to literally Jenny, like Jenny darling, yo my best friend type. Yeah, so that was the song in mind when I was creating this. Now I had no idea what I was doing, what I was designing, if it was going to be Earth Pony, if it was going to be Pegasus, Unicorn. Didn't really care, didn't think too much about it. But I can tell you this, the arm gave me so much trouble, to the point where I colored it in, made a little blob of it, and just put it on there. Because you know what? I've never struggled so much with an arm in my life. To be honest, I never want to do arms again. But it worked out. I ended up finally getting the base sketch that I wanted. Took forever. And you gotta trust the process a little bit, because this gets redone quite a, well, not a bit. The face and everything kind of gets settled. Also, when I'm streaming on Twitch, for some reason, my microphone works for the first few seconds, then stops. The only way I can actually record my voice is if I do a voiceover, or I stream IRL, which I don't really get why my microphone doesn't pick up internal audio when I'm streaming the game. I have not figured that out yet, but that is apparently a thing. As you can tell, I'm going through thinning out all the lines, making it a little cleaner, a little easier, I guess. I did make the belly button, and you're gonna see later on, the belly button doesn't say none of this work I'm doing now stays. And I'm telling you now, I was not because I wanted it to go. It is quite literally because Twitch became Twitch and caused pixel art to crash, which sucks, because when it crashed, I pretty much kind of had a little bit of a moment, and I might have crashed out a little bit, and you're gonna see in a couple seconds that the app does crash, unfortunately, and everything did get reset. It was a fun time, very fun time. Because that was, I think, 20 minutes of me doing it, and then I kind of changed a little bit. Because you know what? I didn't just redo all that for it to just, yeah. Plus, I kind of figured out that when I was doing this, it wasn't looking the way I wanted. So I was like, yeah, something's going on. I'm going to figure it out. It might take me a minute. I do kind of figure it out a little bit. And then back to fixing my line art and kind of smoothing everything out, adding shadows. Normally I don't start with pretty much the shadow base as a sketch, but you know what, I felt like doing something different. It's 2026. My art from last year, it should be improved upon. I don't know what I did for the year, but I will say for here, I was actually thinking of like having her melting. At this point, the concept was the character is melting. Like, she's on fire, she's melting, she's been burned, something along that sort. And I was thinking about making her a unicorn. And then, the more I looked at it, the more I was like, yeah, she's melting. Perfect. Okay, this is what we're starting with. By the way, bro. Well, I don't think you'd be able to see it anyway. I'm gonna lose me, but And at this point, Twitch did the typical Twitch thing where it stops me from talking. But yeah, I pretty much changed it. She is no longer going to be melting. Instead, she is actually going to be burnt. And this is when I began to kind of realize, hey, she needs hooves, or something different with her feet. Me being, I had no idea what I was doing at this point. I was kind of just going over, kind of touching up lines, trying to figure out how I want her feet to be, because right now they look like someone is a ballerina or struggling along those lines. So I was like, we're gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna give her some different type of toes, put them hooves out and something else, And this is also when I came up with the bottom of her feet right above her hooves, that little area, because I didn't want it to just be like a random line. I kind of wanted it to look like it was kind of fluffy but not really fluffy. So kind of wanted the hairs to kind of stick out, make look a little different compared to her. And at this point, I'm still kind of adding all the shadows, all the dark shadows that I want. She's looking pretty good. And then it was on to the hair. And this is when I realized who the character was. Right here. I was like, you know what? The more I look at her, the more I'm thinking about this hairstyle. You know what? I'm going to say she's probably related to AppleJack or someone within the Apple family. She could be like a really, really distant cousin. She could have been related to, she's going to be related somewhere along the line. She's going to be related to them. But personally, from MLP verse, I love AppleJack. She's absolute I like everything about her character design. And I was like, you know what? This character seems like she would be a country bumpkin. That being said, I also feel like she would probably get into more trouble than what it's worth, which is how she got burned. And I was also trying to figure out the cutie mark, and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to eventually get rid of that. So that was also going on. And I also wanted to make it to where she might have been pregnant at one time, or she is pregnant, which was that whole me messing with the belly. And then this is when I made the cutie mark, and I realized that she was AppleCake. She's going to be related to the Apple family. She's going to be a baker. She probably got badly burned while baking a cake. But you know what? She's still fine with it because she knows she's a baddie. And like I said, I wanted her to kind of be related to the Apple family. So she has more of their warm orange tones, but she is going to be a little closer resembling AppleJack. So I'd say she's probably like a cousin. And this is where I was like, how are we going to do this? What are eye colors? And I didn't really know, but I did know that the burns, I wanted them to kind of stick out slightly without sticking out too much. And overall, I really like how I did the burn markings and how I did her eyes once I fixed them. And her cutie mark, genuinely love it. I find it to be very cute. And trying to figure out the top layer of that was kind of like a little bit of a struggle. But yeah, her name is going to be AppleCake. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I shall see y'all next stream. Bye.